Good morning, everyone. My name is Halmar, and today I'm gonna keep this review short and sweet. Uh, all in all, this episode was really good. Uh, Pretty much all of it was good, and a lot happened in it. Over the course of the entire series, Wilford has been planning to take over Snowpiercer, and he's finally done it. And now the show feels a lot more like the movie. I mean, even in the music, it sounds more like the movie. I mean, just when Wilford was finally entering the engine and taking a seat at the helm and the front seat, the music was just so good. But that's just the way it's been with this show. The music's been good, but of course they don't release it because why on earth would you do that? A lot of loyalties have been shifting in this episode despite it being pretty much the end of the war. You would think that sides have been marked down by now, but the Headwoods might be changing sides, or they've been swayed at least. Although that could just them being crazy and wanting to set Josie up to be the next Icy Bob, which Josie herself has already been swayed by Wilford pretending to be nice to her, or maybe just just normally being nice. You never know with him; he's crazy. But either way, Josie might wind up being the next Icy Bob, and Boki changed sides completely. Now this one is certain because he said it himself, and I like it because it shows that he's not dumb when the evidence is laid in front of his eyes, when it's pretty much obvious that Wilford planted that spike in Snowpiercer's gills, which the gills, they kind of confirm that the perpetual motion engine is fusion, or at the very least hydrogen based. I mean, maybe they're doing that just to throw us off, but I don't see why they would try and preserve the perpetual motion engine idea, despite how cool it is. I would have honestly preferred it kept secret just to keep the mystery cool factor, but that was something they decided to do. But Wilford's technical knowledge, well, guess what? There was technical knowledge that he had, and that's why he was able to take the train back anyway. In fact, it's shown that he is a better engineer than Javi, who, as far as we know, was one of the best that Wilford could have gotten from Wilford Industries. Because why would you put someone lackluster in your engine, which he's quite obsessed with? I really like that a lot. He was very obsessed with his engine, especially when it was damaged by the engineers. He just starts yelling at them, "What have you done to my engine?" and stuff like that. I loved that so much. It reminded me of the movie so much. One little thing I liked about the episode is that it had a lot of LJ and Oz, and I really think they're going to do something with them in the third season. It's a shame we didn't get to see more of them in the second season, but I really do think they're going to do something with them in the third season. Especially now that Layton is presumably going to be gone, and Roche is going to be gone, because Roche got put into Big Alice's drawers, along with who I assume is Jinju, so that explains where Jinju's been. But someone who hasn't had their, shall we say, lack of attendance lately is Miles. I mean, I can understand some of the episodes because he's just working in the engine, but this was as close to the engine as you can get. They were in the engine room, and then they were also in the control room. So where is he? I mean, yeah, I can understand an actor being restrained and not able to work on a show when you're underage, but certainly you would have a bit more consistency than this, or at the very least provide an excuse. Maybe they did and I just missed it, but that's just what I have to say. All in all, this episode was very good, and the train scenes were amazing. I mean, they weren't catastrophic like normal, but I think that they toned down the dial quite a bit to me, just to spice it up a little, keep it fresh. And I overall loved the idea of Snowpiercer having gills to take in snow and ice in order to process it into water, or just break it up into hydrogen to use it for its fusion engine, presumably. And I suppose that's about it. I wanted to keep this short and sweet, but I don't think this is a record low review. Anyway, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you next Tuesday when the last 2 episodes come out. And that's when I gotta make a great break for it to push out the train scenes. And my goodness, there's gonna be a lot of them. And I don't know what to do because I want to do all of them so that way the title's not misleading. But the problem is in the first episode and some of the other, I don't think it's in some of the other episodes, I just think it's in the first episode where half of the train scenes in there are just Melanie being outside of the train. I think most of them, no, half of them are of Melanie being outside the train, and then a good portion of them at the end are just so much of the train scenes are of Alexandra and just Big Al's overlooking her train cars at the front, because that's the way she's structured. But that's just the way it is. I don't know if I'm going to include that. I don't know if I'm not. I don't even have the editing done all the way because I think I screwed up the audio to where it's just not synced up to the video good enough. So I have to fix that, and I have to do that for all 8 episodes this week because I kind of fell behind on episode 4. It's going to be very stressful, but it's going to be a masterpiece once it's done because the recording quality is not that much better, but the bit rate's going to be a bit better and the resolution isn't going to change that much. In fact, the resolution is going to be lower, so that way I can push my processor to get better bit rates, because in the first train scene compilation for season 1, oh my gosh, the bit rate is so bad, despite being 1370, or no, that would just be, you count it from the other side, it would be 768, and I've reduced it down to 720, despite now having a 1080p monitor. I've tried recording in 1080p, it does not work, it just doesn't. My computer can't handle it. Its fan turns on like a jet turbine, but that doesn't help at all. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to my spiel. Comment down below if you care about what I'm doing with the train scenes. Give a little bit of advice if you want to. And comment on what you think about the episode, because this was really good. I mean, the one flaw would have been Miles' lack of appearance, but that's an extra show flaw. I don't think that's something to do with the actual story itself. Although it is kind of weird that Miles just is popping up at random moments and then just disappearing for extended periods of time. And it's kind of weird how he was a show regular in this, or almost a show regular in season 1, and now he's hardly a side character. I mean, if you watch season 2 without watching season 1, you wouldn't know who this kid is, to be perfectly honest with you. But I have been spieling on for too long, and now this review is 8 minutes and 7 seconds long. But that's the way it is. I said I was going to keep it short and sweet because I wasn't even going to have a script. I just had a list to talk about. But that's just the way it is. Sometimes you just gotta talk and then you extend the watch time. But that's the way it is. I say that a lot. I keep saying that, but that's the way it is. So I'll be seeing you next week, maybe sooner. If I decide to. Well, I actually might upload the scene of Wilford getting back in the engine because that was really good, to be honest. But I'll be seeing you later. See you next Tuesday.